My dolls would really like you to subscribe to our channel so that you could be part of our family. Today we are going to be making some plates for the dolls. So I've got some clay and I've conditioned it so it's lovely and soft, and I've got a small cutter, just an ordinary little small cutter. I'm just going to make a little indentation into the clay like that. And what I find is the best thing to do is to go around the outside and pull the clay off before you lift the cutter off, because then I find what happens, it's much easier to get the edges nice and straight. And then just lift that up. I'm going to just take our knife and move that off the table like that. And all we're going to do is just lift the very edges of the clay, just a tiny bit, alright? So you've just got a little lift off of the unit, off of the surface, sorry. There we go, so that's all sort of lifted up. And then I've got just the top of a paint, this is just some acrylic paint, and I thought it was just about the right size to get in that centre. I want to try and get it in the centre if you can, and you just, all you're wanting to do is just to make an indentation like that around the outside, and that should come off. You can smooth that back out there. Like that, didn't do that on the other ones. Okay, right, and then just lift that around so you've got just a little small lip coming up off your table. Okay, and so that there is your plate. Now you can decorate this in any way you want. You can decorate it beforehand, but I think what I'm going to do is leave it just like that. And then I will, when I come back and it's all cooked, what I think I'm going to do is to just paint on it, because I'd like to paint the same design as I've got on my little cups and my little teapot and everything. So I'm just going to have a go at having it matching in with that design. So I'm just going to flatten out that centre a little bit better, and then I'm going to pop it in the oven and bake that one with some more. Okay, so I'm going to do that one, and then the other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get some clay and roll it out, and I'm going to make some bowls as well. So the other thing I'm going to do is to make some little bowls. Now I've been thinking for a while, how could I get the shape of the bowl to stay into the shape, because every time I sort of made one it sort of collapsed over on itself. So I'm going to have a go at this. I don't know whether it'll work, I don't know. This is a tin, this is a Fanta tin, but you can get any tins. But can you see how that's sort of concaved in there? I thought that would be absolutely perfect. I'm just trying to get it so that you can see it. There you go. So I thought that might be a perfect sort of like mould. I'm going to try it and see whether it works. I can't decide whether to put a piece of foil in the very bottom or not. So I'm going to think about that. I've made one already, and I'll put that in like that there. And I'm going to try cooking it. And I think with this one I'm going to put the tiniest little piece of foil in the base. Just a very small piece, and I'm hoping that will stop it from sticking. So but just a really tiny bit, because I don't really want to put too much in, because I don't want it to get loads of creases on it. Let's put that in there like that. Can you see it? Hopefully you can see that. Just going to put that right in the very centre. I'm going to take my knife and lift up this circle. So just it was conditioned clay which I rolled out, and I've left it reasonably thick, okay, because the little plates and cups and a teapot and the china on it was quite thick. So I'm going to try and sort of marry it up, and then I'm going to just place it onto the top of my pan. I'm just going to very, very gently push it down inside. And that cutter absolutely fitted it perfectly. There we go. So I'll just go all the way around, push that around, and I'll come back once I've got it pushed in. It's what I wanted to do is make sure I didn't sort of push it too tight onto the bottom of the thing, and I don't want it so that I can't get it out. So that's not too bad actually. So I've done one with the foil in and one with the foil out, and I'll tell you which one comes out best once I've cooked it. And once I've got it all cooked, we'll have a go at painting it. There we go. So that one's ready. So I'm going to just kind of try and cook it on the top of the can, just like that, and see what happens. Okay. So I should go away, put that in the oven. This one's 130 for 30 minutes. So I'll have a go with that and see what happens. So these are the polymer clay plates which I made, which should come up okay. And these are the ones which I made for the little bows. And can you see the pattern on the bottom of the tin came off onto it? And they did come out really easily, so I didn't need to have that piece of foil in there, but probably it helped it stop the pattern from coming off, so that was quite good. Now I will take these now and I'm going to sand them off, make sure there aren't any marks on them, and I'm going to paint them just with a white acrylic. What's that one? That's just a white, oh that's a varnish, sorry. Just a white acrylic. Like that. So I'll give them a coat of paint with a white acrylic, and then I'm going to come back and I'm going to try and have a go at painting on these little flowers so it matches in with our little tea set which we have here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to be trying to marry those colours there. So what I'm going to do is put a little bit of white paint onto the paper first. It won't need a lot. Okay. I'll take a bit of that and I'll just bring that out and I'll put that over here. That's about all I'm really going to need. And then I need the tiniest bit of red. So I'm going to put that separate. And I can do this on a paint palette, just being lazy. If I do it on a piece of paper, it means I don't have to wash the paint palette out. So I'm just going to put the tiniest bit of red there. And just mix that in. That's probably a bit too much red, because that's much paler than that. So that might do for my centre actually. So a little tiny bit more red in that, just for the centre. Yeah, that's not bad. I think that'll be okay for the centre of it. So I'm just going to pick up a tiny bit of that. There, I'm going to just put that into the very centre. It sort of just goes out like that in the centre, just a little bit from the centre like that. There you go. It's got a white dot in the middle, but what I'll do is I'll wait until this is gone out and then I'll come back and put that white dot in. Okay, and then I need a lot more white and that to put that down nice and light. That's really light going on the outside. That's better. Yeah, there we go. And I'm just going to come out very carefully, and it sort of goes like that sort of thing, coming out like that. I've always been rubbish at painting, so I'm sure that you will be able to do much better than I have done here. I think they need to be slightly longer. There we go, that's better. Yeah, make it slightly longer, I think. They're not going to match exactly, but they'll just look as if they could be a part of this set. And you don't have to follow the same design, you could do whatever you liked on your little plates. I'm going to put these in the little box for Alice. So she's got some plates to go with her cups and her saucers and her teapot. That's it, there we go. That's gone on lovely. There you go. Just remember, if you're going to do more than one, you need to make sure that you make up enough paint of that same colour. Otherwise you'll end up with having to make more and it's really hard to get them to match. So that's quite nice, I quite like that. That's gone on quite well. So I'm going to just leave that to dry. Now what you can do is get your heat gun and just dry that off with your heat gun if you want to. Obviously if you're doing lots of them you could just carry on and just do all of them, but just get that on. So that's dried that off. That's not too bad. I'm going to take my pencil and clean it out. My paintbrush, sorry. Give that a bit of a clean. Yeah, and then I'm just going to take a dot of white to put in the centre. There we go. Dot in the centre. There we are. That's okay. Right, wash that out again. And the next thing I want to do is to try and make this leaf. It's like a bluey sort of colour here. Yeah. There, so I'm just going to go for that. So I want the most tiniest bit of blue. Oh, and I tell you what, make sure you shake the blue. For some reason the blue is a bit funny. There we go. I'm just going to put the teeniest dab of it into this white here. And then I'll just keep adding teeny dobs of it until I get it right. Now online there are lots and lots of different artists doing beautifully things, and I don't claim to be an artist at all. I remember things my art teacher saying she has no imagination. But hey ho, I'm not worried about that. I'm quite happy with having no imagination. I think it's more of an aqua, so I'm going to try and put a tiny bit of green with it. But just a teeny weeny. Oh, this is a brand new one, is it? I don't really want it this like navy type blue type thing. But then yeah, it's still a bit light. Let's put a bit more blue in there. That might be better. Yeah, that's definitely coming now. It just takes a while to get it to what you want. Yeah, that's not bad. Okay, so that sort of stands separate from the flower, so it sort of just goes to one side. So I'm looking for probably this side here. So let's just gonna clean out my brush because where I've been mixing it. And I'm just gonna. Some people put their brushes in their mouth, but I don't like to do that. Okay, I'm just gonna get a thin piece on it to do the line. And there we go, and it goes just down a bit further. That's okay. And then I'm just going to make up the leaves on it. So there's sort of that sort of shape like that. Now you might have to come over and give this one 2 coats to get it to be what you want it. Once you've got them on, it should be easy enough to get another coat on there. So just giving the impression that they're part of a set and they sort of look like it. Okay, and a bit more, just go over the top. I find it really relaxing painting. It's not like sewing and doing all the other things. You can just sit here and relax, and yeah, that's quite nice. I think I should keep going. Just put a bit more paint on it. Just get a bit more of that colour in there. And there, yeah, that's okay. Happy with that, I think. Yeah, there we go. So that's that bit. So that's not so bad. Okay, and then we're just going to go to put the green leaf on the other side. And I've got a problem with that green, so I'm going to go and see what else I can find. So I don't really want to put that green on it. It's okay. So what I've done is I've just mixed some green, blue, navy and navy blue and yellow together until I got that green, which is not far off that green on the plate. So on the cup. So on the cup, it sort of comes behind the petal. So I'm sort of going to bring it in here and bring it so it's sort of coming out here like that, and then bring it around and out like that into a point there. Okay, just like that, and then I'll get that into the right shape I want. There you go. So just keep going. Okay, just do that, and then I'll put another coat on top of it. That's sort of going out like that there. And then what I'm going to do is then I'll just go in and wait for it to dry, and then I'll come over and it's got some little white lines on it, so I'll put some little white lines onto it, so marry it up. And then when it's completely dry, I'm just going to run over with a coat of varnish. So there you go. So I'll put the lines on in a minute. I wonder if it should be a bit, I think it should be a little bit more pointy. Let's get a little bit more of a point up the top there. Running, that's better. There, that's better. So I should just go and do that. And I'm going to go and do that now to all the others. And then come around. I don't know, I've just touched that. Okay, with my painty hand. You can just run that off if you want to. Okay. So that there is, and as I say, I will come back, put the white lines on, and then I will varnish it.